Hey guys, Scott Martin here, fresh off the FLW win, Potomac River. I tell you what a blessing that was. And I want to apologize for the impromptu way this little video is going to kind of come out. I don't have my boat here. I don't have my truck here. I don't even have my rods and reels that I used in the event. All that stuff's up on the road. I flew home to spend time with the family. I had another promotion to do right after that tournament, and I'm just walking in the front door. I went in my garage and grabbed a few things that made a huge difference in that tournament. And first I want to talk about kind of how I caught them, kind of what I was doing, what I was looking for. Real simple, guys. The Potomac River is a tidal river. And the way the tides were that particular week is it was high tides in the morning and low tides in the afternoon. I was staying on the north end of the lake around Belmont Bay, up on the north end of the river, and throwing moving baits like chatter baits, square bill crankbaits, spinner baits in that high tide areas. When I say high tide, I mean the water is over the grass, okay? In that particular area, the grass wasn't that thick, which made it better, even better on a high tide, because I could slow roll my crankbaits, slow roll my chatter baits through that area. Then, around 9, 10, 11 o'clock every day, I'd run south down to Aquia Creek and Potomac Creek and flip the milfoil beds. Milfoil is a very productive grass. If you find milfoil in any lake you ever go to, fish it. There's always bass around milfoil. But I'd flip that milfoil beds around the Aquia Creek here in low water, take my polarized glasses, try to figure out where those little, the thicker patches of grass are that submerge. You can barely see them. Having a good pair of polarized glasses is very important because you can see those darker spots. I use Numa, obviously, and they make great polarized glasses. And if you need a new pair of glasses, I suggest going out and checking those guys out. But I take this paddle tail worm. This is a Bruiser bait. It's called a ripper. It's a paddle tail. The unique thing about this bait here, it has a little slit in it, which allows that tail to have two different types of action. You can leave it connected, and it's a standard paddle tail, or you can rip it like that, and then it will have a different swimming action. And that's what I was doing. Ripping that bait a little bit, flipping it in these little milfoil grass beds with a 1/16, a 3/16 and a 1/4 ounce flipping weight by River to Sea. 17-pound fluorocarbon, and my new favorite sticks, the Helios. This is a super lightweight rod, micro guides, very sensitive rod. That was real important. These bites were very light, didn't feel very many of them at all. So having a sensitive rod is very important when you're fishing for heavily pressured fish. Fluorocarbon line was a big key to my success as well. Allowed me to feel those strikes a little bit better and get a few more strikes. The reels, which I don't have right now, was a Helios 6.3-to-1 and a Komodo 7.3-to-1. And those were really great. And so that was basically my rundown of how I did well in that tournament, won the tournament, fishing those areas, fishing these baits, and approaching it that way. So take a look at some of this footage, some of the pictures of the event, some of the other things that we captured while we were there. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.
Hey guys, Randy Clark here with Fishhound.com, following Scott Martin on the Potomac River. Update, we're at the mouth of Aquia Creek on day 4. Trying to do the toughest thing in bass fishing, that's lead a tournament wire to wire. God, what a grind. 8 days. 3 practice days, an off day, 3 tournament days, led every day. We've got a limit. It's a little after 10 o'clock. He's culling right now for the first time to see if we can upgrade. The job now in the next 4 hours is try to get rid of 3 or 4 of these fish and build a winning stringer. Stay tuned, fans at Fishhound, for an update later, perhaps, maybe from the winner's circle. God bless you guys.
$125,000, Richard. Another trophy on the shelf. What an unbelievable couple of years for Scott Martin. And like Chris said, the Scott Martin train, no signs of slowing down. It's something different than the fishery set up for you, completely different this year. How did you put it all together?
I just stayed confident out there. You know, Dudley kind of touched on it a little bit. It's not the lures you throw. A lot of times it's not even the exact spot you're fishing. It's confidence that wins tournaments. And I had a lot of it this week, and it really paid off big time. That was the winning lure. Really, was just confidence. And last year, you know, it was a gut punch. It was one of those tournaments that I was around some of the guys that won the tournament and did really well, and I was one that didn't do very well. And so it was inspiration to come back and win this year on the Potomac River. Like I said, my dad's from here, Laurel, Maryland. He grew up on the Potomac River. This is for Dad, too. And my mom and my sister back home watching on the internet, Jacob, Reed, and Hillary, and Amelia, my kids. I can't wait to get home and see you guys. I love you guys so much. Thanks to all the fans out here for coming out.
And all the fans of Coolest and the crew right there. All these guys are so great. All the fans of the Scott Martin Challenge. And obviously you can watch it on NBC Sports too. Thanks so much for all the support.
Hey, Scott, I've got to ask you, man.